Hello, and I would like to share a very exciting technology that I have used in my classroom quite often. This technology is known as Quizizz, and it's an online website that's absolutely phenomenal for review procedures. So, when I'm going through a review before a test, the first place I like to turn is Quizizz. And that's because Quizizz is probably my favorite form of review activities. Quizizz is extremely useful for these individual style reviews. This is similar to Kahoot in that you give them some test questions that they can run over, but different, and students can compete for school scores and stuff like that. But it's a little bit different. It's less public and more private in how you're doing, how you're reviewing and looking for your own work. And as a teacher, you can see a lot of the feedback immediately. So it's extremely useful qualtrics to get a lot of data fast. So let me talk about what the purpose of this is. The purpose of this is to review material well. This is really intended for an audience of students to be used well. So let's go into how this works before I go over the ISTE standards. So once you sign up, you're going to be brought to a screen like this. You can either find someone else's quiz, as you can see, a lot of people make these public, and you can just click on it, and all of a sudden you download the review, their quizzes immediately. But what I like to do is I like to make my own. So I'm going to click My Quizzes on the side. Then I'm going to create a collection. But instead of going through all that, I'd like to give you an example of what I've done. I'm going to click on this weather and climate quizzes I've made. I really enjoy this one. Alright, I really enjoy how this works. I'm going to edit and show you what it looks like to edit and or create. So as it loads, I can add new questions, so I can create a new question. Let's do something like, what layer of the atmosphere is closest to the Earth? What layer the atmosphere is closest to the Earth? And I can put the answers in one of these things. So let's say troposphere, mesosphere, troposphere, mesosphere, I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. Troposphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, and let's go thermosphere. In our case, the troposphere would be the correct answer, so we can click this to be the correct answer. I can select only up to one unless I say there's multi-select, in which case I could say this one and this one's correct. But it's only just the troposphere. I'm going to cancel out this because I believe that was already a question. Once you have put in these questions, you can also add pictures to them too. So if you were to edit them, you can add an image to help students actually see what's going on. So oftentimes I could do a question that has an image on it that the students get to see on their iPads, and they can answer via the image as well. That loads up on their screen personally. So instead of Kahoot, where it only gives you the answers, you see the question at your own pace. So once you've finished this, you click Finish Quiz, and then you can play live. You can go ahead and shuffle the questions, shuffle the answers. You can show answers after. You can use this to review at the end, which I highly recommend, because that way you can see who got what right, who got what wrong, what questions more people had problems with than others, etc., etc. So you can play funny pictures after each one. Some kids love it, some kids don't. You can change up which ones you have. You can play music, etc., etc. Sometimes I turn timer question off because sometimes kids need a little bit more time. But it's whatever you kind of prefer, whatever your class prefers with this. I'm going to go back. You could also assign this as homework. So instead of doing this only in class, you can assign this as a homework activity so students could use that to do a personal review. I think this is an amazing resource for anyone to use because it's gives a lot of good data back almost immediately to the teacher, and a very good resource for students to reach to learn what's going on. So I want to talk a little bit about the ISTE standards. 2 ISTE standards that I want to talk about is Teachers 3B, in which we are to maintain and manage a variety of digital tools and resources for teachers and students to use in a technology-rich learning environment. I also want to mention 5A, model and promote strategies for having achievable, equitable access to digital tools and resources and technology-related best practices for all students and teachers. Very useful standards that are met through Quizizz. Once you have finished this, it's already public. You can share with the public. You can download, etc., etc. This is one of the best ways I would recommend reviewing for a test or anything like that, because not only does it give the students the ability to review, but it gives them a way to do it in with a little bit of competition, but not forced competition. So I would highly recommend Quizizz as a nice reviewing opportunity for any teacher. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day.